It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
Who do you think gets paid less, has more followers, better engagement?
Try not getting paid at all. So late last year, I generated almost $100,000 in literally like 2 or 3 months of this makeup brand that joined TikTok. Now, specifically, the number is $92,335.58, with the total products being sold 5,290, and total views for like all of my videos for this brand being 4,595,616 views. Granted, I literally had less than 100,000 followers at the time, and there were like no ads, no paid posts, like none of that like pay to play type crap. Now, as a small creator, this was definitely a big deal for me, and I guess this was also a big deal for the brand, because back in December they did invite me to their headquarters for like a cute little. During this meeting, they thanked me for selling them out of their products that literally had just been sitting in their warehouse for like God knows how long. And then they also presented an opportunity for me to be like the face of their newest Black History Month campaign, because what sells better than being Black? Now, mind you, up until this point, I had no formal contractual business with this brand. We had not discussed commission rates. We did not have any sort of like contract in terms of like me promoting their products, anything like that. So everything up until this point was just like me organically, naturally promoting their products, because I actually did like. And if you're wondering, yes, this brand is definitely glam, but they lightweight just don't respect Black creators, or at least me. So anyways, they mentioned me being like the face of this Black History campaign because like I'm Black or whatever. And I'm like, okay, well, like talk to my manager, because clearly there are like other things that go into being the face of a campaign. Immediately the vibe changes and they're like, oh my God, well, you know, we don't really have the budget. Well, like, how do you not have the budget when literally in December of 2023 alone, I personally raked in about $72,000 for that brand? On top of that, they allegedly just paid a non-Black male creator, I want to say upwards of $1 million plus residuals for a campaign or collaboration. And they've had collaborations with Michaela, and I know sis cost a pretty penny. So like, let's just not even play. Nonetheless, I guess the owner tried to like appeal to me with the whole like, well, I'm also a Black woman, which granted, not to my knowledge has she ever even like publicly admitted that. And actually, as a matter of fact, in the bio of the brand itself, there is a Dominican flag, and it says like woman of color owned with a Dominican flag. Like, I've not ever seen her acknowledge her Blackness, and quite frankly, she is passing with that's like a whole different story. Anyway, she tries to like literally appeal to me with like her Blackness, which is just freaking crazy, because it's like at the same time that you're appealing to me with like your I'm a Black woman card, you're also simultaneously trying to exploit me. You're not even underpaying me. You're not even trying to pay me at all. It's complete disrespect and disregard for like the hard work that I've actually put into like your brand with like for no reason. I've literally almost spiraled into a very deep dark depression over TikTok Shop, only because I was able to see exactly how much money I was making for brands, like upwards of like millions of dollars, no exaggeration, just to literally be turned around and treated like, be disrespected, disregarded, just talked to crazy, gaslit, like literally like it's fucking insane. And what makes matters worse, like not only is like disrespect in general just like bad in itself, but to make matters worse is like when you know how much money you're bringing in for people, and for them to literally like treat you like a whole different type of. And that's why I made that previous video kind of like talking about one of my more latter experiences last year, where I in like 2 or 3 months I made a brand almost $100,000 just for them to turn around and tell me they had no budget for me, when they wanted for me to like, you know, be Black performative and be the face of their Black campaign that they're launching tomorrow, May 22nd, while simultaneously paying creators like who just had a birthday, who just went to their offices, a non-Black male creator, upwards of $1 million plus residual. This same brand, regardless of me selling almost $72,000 in GMV for them in December of 2023, this same brand didn't even have enough respect, courtesy, or decorum for me to speak to my manager about possible rates or possible negotiations for me being the face of this so-called campaign they wanted for me to be a part of. Aside from this same brand did not even have the common decency or respect to even email my manager back until 4 months and I believe 6 days later, after her original email to them asking them about my commission on TikTok Shop, as well as, you know, potentially trying to figure out what to do in regards to this collaboration. And if that's not bad enough, in this brand's email, as of I want to say yesterday or 2 days ago, mind you, 4 months and like 6 days later, this brand not only did not follow up with my so-called commission that they agreed to, but they also wanted for me to come and attend or be a part of this same launch that's happening tomorrow that they told me that they did not have the money or the budget for when it came to me. Like, it's just disrespect after disrespect after disrespect. And personally, like, I have had to really gain such a strong sense of self behind this. I'm going to expose Glamlite Cosmetics because I often feel like as Black creators, we are disregarded and devalued and our stories go untold. As of today, I have sold a total of $92,335.58 of Glamlite cosmetic products on TikTok Shop. My total products sold for this brand is 5,290. The total views that I've garnered for this brand on my page is 4,595,616 views. Now, I just want to be clear. This was all done without any ad code, without any targeted plan, without any paid promotion, without any contracts. This was just organic, me posting videos, y'all like it, y'all buy it, here we are. In December of 2023 specifically, I want to say I sold about $72,000 worth of Glamlite products. They invited me to their offices, to say thank you and to also discuss future opportunities. During this time, they mentioned an upcoming Black History collection with Fresh Prince of Bel-Air that they wanted for me to be the face of, because obviously I'm Black and I was just, doing well. Now again, up until this point, we've had no official business. So I did tell them, okay, well, speak to my manager, let's work this out. The vibe immediately changed and I was met with, well, we don't really have the budget to pay you or to do anything. And granted, I was stunned because in that month of December 2023 specifically, I made them around $72,000. And on top of that, to my knowledge, they had just paid another creator, non-Black male, who just had a birthday at their facilities, upwards of $1 million plus royalty. Plus, if I'm not mistaken, they had a collaboration with Michaela, and I know for sure she's not cheap. So, at that point, I was definitely taken aback and definitely disappointed because, they haven't even talked to my manager. Like, they didn't even know what my rates were to even deny said rates. And on top of that, it's like I had already proven myself for free in regards to the GMV that I could even make for that brand. And also in that meeting, the brand owner tried to smooth things over with, I'm also a Black woman. I'm Afro-Caribbean or whatever it is that she is. And, I get the struggle. I don't understand how she could understand any struggle when I've just made her company $72,000 in 1 month without any sort of advertising or anything like that. And she is to my face devaluing me and not even giving me the same common respect or courtesy to even speak to my manager or discuss any sort of possibility for anything financially when it comes to me being the face of a campaign that she wants to essentially exploit me as being, a Black person. Her brand is inclusive, her brand is diverse. Well, it just seems very performative to me, but hey, that's just me. Nonetheless, at the end of the meeting, I did share with them, hey, you guys have me with this particular commission rate. That's not my normal commission rate. Can you please up my commission rate? I was told they didn't know how to put me on a targeted plan, but they would try to figure it out. Okay. So I left the meeting, weeks went by, no update on my targeted plan, no update on this Fresh Prince of Bel-Air collection. Okay, my manager emails them to follow up. No response. I didn't get a response until 4 months and 6 days later, in which still no update on my targeted plan. My plan still has not changed with this brand, although I've not posted any new videos about this brand. As well as that same collection that they told me they had no budget for me for, is the same collection that they invited for me to come out to the event for. As if the December meeting was not a big spit in the face, that email was an even bigger spit/slap in the face. Like, I could have just left it at being disrespected back in December, but to circle the block and not respond for 4 months and 6 days, and then to email my manager back with basically nothing. I understand that I guess the brand is now taking a woman of color owned, we are diverse, we're about inclusion approach to the brand. However, as the great Kendrick Lamar said, you are not a colleague, you are a colonizer. And that definitely rings true in this case. And I am just so disappointed, and I'm so disgusted at the behaviors of the owner of Glamlite Cosmetics and just of Glamlite Cosmetics in general. I hope that you guys do not have a similar experience, and I don't wish any hate upon the brand. I'm just sharing my story. Bye.
This situation has to be addressed. As a woman of color owned brand, it is my responsibility to come here and address these allegations that are being made. So let's go ahead and talk about the situation. This situation has been a huge misunderstanding. First thing is first, I have never told Christian Chanel, not me or anyone on my team, whether via email, text message, or DM, that we didn't have a budget for her. Late last year, Christian joined our affiliate program, and automatically me and the team reached out to her so that we can invite her to our warehouse. We absolutely love her energy and wanted to just meet in person with her and continue working with her.
You guys, we're at Glamlite. Look at all of the cuteness that they have set up for me. Like, no team has ever treated me this good.
Oh, you're so sweet. I personally exchanged phone numbers with her that day, and I told her I would love to continue working with you. I have an amazing partnership coming up next year, 2024, which is going to be our Fresh Prince X Glamlite collection. And I would love to have you be part of that collection, whether it's as a model or the face of the campaign, or even just doing joint promotion for the collection. On December 29th, I received a text message from Christian that she wanted to follow up in regards to maybe discussing the partnership. Because I'm only one person, I'm the CEO of the company, I run finance, I do product development, I help pack orders, I go on live, I do the licensing. I'm already spreading myself thin enough, so therefore I can't handle day-to-day communications with influencers. Therefore, I told her I was going to connect her with my team member. I gave her the information of a marketing assistant who had just joined our team probably 2 months prior. I delegated the tasks and responsibilities to my assistant to be in charge of coordinating with Christian to make sure that we were able to make this partnership as successful as possible. My assistant received an email from Christian Chanel's manager in January. Even though I wasn't CC'd on that email, she brought it to my attention and asked me how I would like to address it. So therefore, I informed her of whatever we were going to be offering Christian as a model, and she began to draft that message. You know, I reviewed it for her. It was 5 paragraphs. It covered absolutely everything on all the information that we wanted Christian to know. In addition to giving Christian Chanel my personal phone number, which I rarely do, our VP also gave her his phone number just in case she needed anything from us. She can have the direct communication with us. He reached out to her in February. He was inviting her to an event. Literally, she left him completely on red, never even responded to the messages. Due to unforeseen circumstances, the team member that was in charge of reviewing that communication ended up leaving the team right around the end of January, which only left us with one marketing assistant. Our Fresh Prince collection was originally supposed to launch February 2024. However, we made a few internal decisions to postpone the launch till the end of May. Therefore, the campaign that we were going to work on with Christian, we weren't going to be doing any planning for it until a few weeks from now. And here is where the misunderstanding happened. So I approached my assistant and I asked her, hey, what ended up happening with Christian Chanel? Did you ever hear back from the email that you sent to her? And that's when she's like, no, I haven't heard back from them. So I said, you know what, let's go back into the email. Let me see what you said to them or what was their response. And as soon as she clicked that email open, I saw that the email was on drafts. And this is a mistake that could happen to any one of us. It was something that it wasn't done with malice. It wasn't done with ill intention. On the contrary, this is something that I'm apologizing to her for. This is me giving you a sincere apology for something that could have been easily avoided, something that it was an oversight. And the heartbreaking part of the situation is that even if I would have received like a simple text message, hey Giselle, like I didn't hear back from your assistant, or telling Anthony, hey Anthony, I didn't hear back from your assistant, I would have had the opportunity to make it right. I would have been more than honored and more than happy to go ahead and address the situation because I was really excited to work with her. In the email that was sent to her, which I'm going to attach right here, not once did I ever mention we don't have the budget for you. Whether it was text message, whether it was phone call, we have never said those words to Christian Chanel because we believe in supporting Black content creators, and not just Black content creators, but content creators overall. When my assistant sent out that last email, we were still unsure if we were going to continue with the campaign overall, just because we were more focused on creating tutorials and just hosting an event for micro-influencers. Now let's address the biggest misconception that happened from this misunderstanding. In Christian Chanel's video, she mentions that she brought in $93,000 in sales for a brand, which I'm ridiculously grateful for. However, as a TikTok Shop affiliate, she earns 15% of the entire sales that happen. Through the videos that she created, she earned $13,700, which were paid directly to her by TikTok. And I'm over here attaching the screenshot so that you can see the evidence. So I just want to clarify that never have I asked Christian Chanel to do this campaign for free. Never have I told her that I don't have a budget for her to create content or do this campaign. On the contrary, as a woman of color on brand and someone that's been doing social media marketing for almost 9 years, and I do constant campaigns, every single model, hairstylist, MUA that's ever been on my set, whether you're white, black, blue, or red, every single person has been compensated fairly. And I'm not just talking about now. I'm talking about even when I first started, even when I barely could afford to fund my first palette, my very first campaign that I literally had to save up for. I had to pay those makeup artists. I paid the models. Whatever profit I was going to make went to paying for that campaign. So if I was doing that back then, I'm definitely not going to be asking for free content now. That's not who I am, and that's not how I operate a business. From the bottom of my heart, I genuinely just want you to be able to go through those messages that I attach here and see where did I ever ask her to pretty much to exploit her. I would never do something like that. I'm all about uplifting content creators. In the past 12 hours, I've been called a colonizer, I've been called a racist, and everything in between. I'm not even going to repeat some of the words that I've been called. It really breaks my heart because this situation could have been so easily avoidable. Christian, you could have sent out a message to me directly and said, hey Giselle, I feel left out. I didn't get a response when I sent out that one email, and I would have gladly made the situation right by you. Now let's address the second serious allegation that was made in that video. She stated that I paid a particular influencer over $1 million plus bonus and royalties to come to our warehouse and promote our products. This Hispanic beauty influencer that I invited to my warehouse was actually last year. The videos that she's referring to were from last year that we just posted now. I had reached out to him because he had been showing genuine love and support through my brand through his reviews. And the same way I did with her, I reached out to him and said, hey, I would love to have you over at my warehouse. We got some decorations, very simple decorations from Dollar Tree. We got him lunch. And we have not paid him not even a single dollar, not even 4 cents. This was literally just hanging out with an influencer, getting to know him better. 2, I have never told her that it was not in our budget and that we couldn't afford her. 3, any content that she created, organic content that she created on her own free will through TikTok Shop, she was fully compensated for. As a woman, we should not be putting ourselves against each other. This situation could have been avoided with just a simple communication. I would have gladly had this conversation with you. I would have apologized in person. I would have jumped on the phone call with you to make it right, because at the end of the day, that's the least thing I've ever wanted to do, was to make someone feel like they were unappreciated, especially someone that was supporting my brand and showing me genuine love. However, I'm not going to come here and give you a blank apology, because that's something that I see done very often in the beauty community. Instead, I want to turn a negative situation into a positive situation, one that we can all learn and grow from. Therefore, I'm going to do something very special to show how much inclusivity means to me and the change that I want to see in the community. Therefore, I'm personally pledging $100,000 to POC micro-influencers. As I mentioned before, I don't believe in sponsorships just because I think it's unethical to pay someone to review a product and tell them what to say. Therefore, what I have done in the past with these particular pledges is I pay you to create content. I pay you strictly for your tutorial. I send you the product. I agree on a rate with you. And once you post your content, you're free to say whatever you like. With that being said, I just want you guys to know that mistakes do happen, and sometimes they don't come from an ill place or with ill intention. It's just human error. Something as simply as not clicking send on an email has caused all of this controversy. And you know what? Like I said, I can only grow and learn from here, and I hope to continue to be a light of beacon for some people in the beauty community. This situation has been a huge misunderstanding.
Giselle, this situation is not a misunderstanding. In your video, you doubled down on being a manipulator, a liar, and a gaslighter. As of today, May 22nd, 2024, you have still not changed my commission rate on TikTok Shop, despite me making over $90,000 for your company, despite you agreeing to this in person on December 20th, 2023. It is now 5 months and I believe 2 days later after that agreement. This also comes after my manager emailed on January the 3rd asking about my commission change, which you admittedly saw, yet to date on May the 22nd, 2024, there still has been no change in my commission. I don't really know how you explain that.
I have never told Christian Chanel, not me or anyone on my team, whether via email, text message, or DM, that we didn't have a budget for her.
As many people may know, not having offers in writing is oftentimes a brand's way of negotiating an unaccountable and non-legally binding agreements just in case something like this occurs. I maintain that when you asked for me to be the face of your Fresh Prince of Bel-Air collection, I asked you to speak to my manager to negotiate a possible deal or some sort of payment, and that is when you told me that you did not have the budget. Now, I know the truth, you know the truth, Anthony, who is there, knows the truth, and most importantly, God knows the truth. The people can decide what they want to believe. Now, although you did admit that your company dropped the ball and accidentally forgot to respond to my manager's January the 3rd email, you swiftly followed up with manipulation and gaslighting tactics by insinuating that I could have or I should have contacted you all if I had an issue or if I felt a type of way. Unfortunately, I am not in the business of begging. I gave you 2 opportunities to do the right thing. One on December 20th, you did not. The second on January the 3rd, you did not. There was no further conversation for us to have. Furthermore, because I stand on business, I did leave your VP Anthony on red when he invited me to one of you all's event. I found such invitation disrespectful and distasteful, especially given that just on January the 3rd, my manager emailed you all and you guys still had not responded. But weeks later, you're inviting me to your event to do what? Have me parade around as like the token black girl or prove that you're like inclusive with your brand? Yeah, I stand on business and I'm not about being exploited, used, or manipulated or any of the above. I also want to address that you stated at multiple points in your video that I could have contacted you and you would have been more than happy to make this right. However, you yourself don't even follow your own advice. From December 20th to May 22nd, 2024, I have not personally heard from you. You have my mailing address, you have my phone number, you have my email address, you have my social media accounts. I have not personally heard from you until you made this public video today. If that is not like top tier manipulation and gaslighting, I truly don't even know what is. As for the influencer Dos Mendoza that I claimed that you paid upwards of $1 million to plus royalties for a collaboration or campaign or whatever, obviously I cannot confirm or deny that because I do not have the contracts. However, again, your truth, his truth, God knows the truth. I also want to address the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air collection situation. You stated that at the end of February, you didn't know if you would still be launching the collection, blase, blase, blase. On May 9th, Fatima, your marketing manager, emailed my manager stating that you would love to give me more information on the event that you had already been planning for the launch of your Fresh Prince collection. You emailed me on May the 9th. On May the 10th of 2024 is when you started promoting your Fresh Prince of Bel-Air collection. You had already had the packaging, you had already had models, you already had campaign images, campaign videos, etc. How is it that if you truly wanted for me to be a part of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air collection that you did not reach out to me or email my manager at the same time in which you were finding models and organizing photo shoots and all of that? The question is rhetorical. Lastly, you stated this.
As a woman, we should not be putting ourselves against each other.
I want to be very clear. I am a black woman. I am a part of a group of people that are the most disrespected group of people on this earth. You personally contributed to the disrespect of black women and the disrespect of black creators the moment that you decided to devalue me, disrespect me, come on Beyonce's internet and attempt to lie on me. You contributed to this disrespect the moment that you had your marketing manager email my manager on May the 9th, 2024, 4 months and 6 days after my manager's original email, stating that you all were excited about the possibility of placing me on a targeted TikTok shop affiliate plan. 15% is not my normal commission rate. And when I did meet you in person on December 20th, I told you what my normal rate was. And even with me selling over $90,000 worth of Glamlite products, you still did not increase my commission rate to what I am actually worth, to what I told you it is that I was worth. And you went further to state that I should have still reached out to you to express my grievances when on May the 9th, 2024, you knew exactly the email that was going out. You still had not at the very least changed my commission rate. And even after seeing my video go up yesterday, you yourself, instead of reaching out to me, phone call, text, email, mail, etc., you turn off all of your comments, you delete the video of Dos Mendoza at your headquarters, and you put out this pseudo sense of an apology video, but you don't contact me directly. I don't know. The reason why I shared my story was to push the culture forward, specifically as it relates to equal pay for black creators. And it seems like with my video, it did spark change, at least with Glamlite, and hopefully it's not just performative.
What it do, everyday people, man? It's your boy PJ. Today we back with another lit video. We back in the confessional. Yes, we staying lit, big dog. Hey, shout out to my everyday people who rock with me every day. Shout out to my homeboy, Lucky Wheels of Diz keeps it lit. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to this video. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section, man. Make sure y'all check out HiveMindLabs.com. you can get your super fat burners. Now, I am an affiliate, so I know what they talking about, okay? Or you can also hit up the link for the Opulence Scents, okay? And that I also am affiliate. So you click the link, you get 10% off. And you can hit up custom_freaks. I am not an affiliate, but this is a good friend of mine. So I like to support his brand, support black brands, okay? All three of these are black brands, okay? And that's what we like to do around here. So let's get into it. Now that we got that out the way. Who do you believe? Okay, now I'm going to give you, at first I was on Christian Chanel's side, 100%. Listening to the story, this is my first time hearing the entire story. Check, when I do reactions, I try not to watch them. I want to give y'all exactly how I feel when I feel it. So let's go to Christian Chanel's page. So, Christian Chanel, she has 115,000 followers, 6.3 million likes. I want to just say, prior to my first TikTok channel getting deleted, I had over 300,000. I don't understand. I wasn't even getting that much from TikTok. When TikTok first started paying people, you know, the brands I was promoting, I was making a little bit of change here and there. But most of my money came from my views. So I don't know about the affiliate program. I don't even conform to that program right now. But what I will say is, you know, I think it's kind of a slap in the face when you can just make a video and get paid for it and don't even have to have an actual contract with a company. It's a slap in the face to the companies that do it, because now it seems like people are disregarding that it's giving people opportunities to make money, like free opportunities with your time, with products you already love. People that sell these products already use them, so they buy them and put them up on their TikTok shop so they can make a commission off of the sales that people see their videos. So I get where the companies are come from in this situation. But then again, I get, as a content creator, it's like, okay, where am I most valued at? Where can my influence come in at? And if I got the influence to put like more I could put more videos up, you know what I'm saying, of this certain cosmetic, and it could get me more money just by just posting. Or people from 10 years from now could still see this video and still purchase from my TikTok shop, and I could still make a commission from that. But if I'm making hundreds of thousands, I would want to request a lot more. If I have a bunch of different cosmetics that I do, and I have a set commission, yes, I would want to bring that to every opportunity, every company. But every company don't have to go with that, and you don't have to promote their brands. But if you was promoting it without their contracts anyway, does it really matter? You know, once they invite you there and they say, hey, we want to continue to work with you, and you say, okay, well, I want 20% up from the 15%, which is fine. But then if they don't go with that, you can't get mad. You can't throw this company out as if they had not paid you from the TikTok shop. You didn't actually make any direct money from them. And the lady said she didn't even pay the other guy $1 million. So I guess we just gonna have to wait to see what he says about how much he made, because he could have made money from the TikTok shop and commissions that he's supposed to have been paid through sales. He could have made $1 million off of sales and said, hey, they paid me this much because I've sold that much. So if he sold 15%, if he made $1 million, he sold about 10 million, you know, or $9 million worth of sales. That's a big difference from the 100,000 that you sold. So let's just keep it there. Really, I think when she got into the name calling and the disrespect, that's where it kind of threw me off. I was like, well, does she really need to be called a colonizer? Because, you know, being an Afro-Latina, they didn't really get colonized. They were actually slaves that either fought off the slave owners and landed in different countries, Caribbean countries and stuff like that. So I don't know. Then you also have the continual disrespect from in the response to her response, which I think it wasn't warranted. Like you shouldn't have did that. You shouldn't have did. If I may go to Glamlite, Glamlite has 393,000 followers on TikTok. I almost had more than them, and they're actual company. But yes, they have the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air collection that they dropped. They have other content creators. Man, I ain't gonna lie. They have a lot of black people. A lot of looks like Hispanic descent. Few white girls. You know, goth chicks. This TikTok creator, she's on here a few times. Like she's up here. So, you know, I think it's all about working the brand. Like if you can work the brand, you should be able to, you know, make your money and not complain about it. I'm not saying don't complain about it, because there are people who really take advantage of us. But at this point, TikTok Shop is a free-for-all. If you're willing to make the content, we're willing to send you the products to try and to use, and you make a commission. It's free. It's free money. Like I'm not saying don't take advantage of this, but don't like misuse or make it a bad light, because then other creators may love this brand. Other creators may make money from this brand, and because they seen other people's videos making money from this brand, they like, oh, I don't want to buy this brand. Now you taking money from other content creators. So it doesn't just affect you, it affects other people as well that buy their products from the TikTok shop. You know, so that's where you got to be mindful. I think it was kind of selfish in a manner for what she did and exploited them, because somebody who doesn't make that 15% or doesn't make that 13,000 that you made, they may make 1,000. Now they're making 500 because a lot of people took their items out their bag because they're like, oh, they must not be paying that girl enough. When that girl probably depended, this black girl right here probably depended on, well, let me show her because she in this thing. This black girl right here, she probably depended on that $1,000, that $2,000, maybe for her college, maybe for her bills, maybe. But since you did that, people are taking their items out their cart from her TikTok shop, and that's where it hurts. So just think about it. It's just something to think about. I'm not gonna be totally for the company, because there was mistakes. She took accountability for them, and at the end of the day, when you run a company and mistakes are made, the fault lies on you, and that's just what it is. The fault lies on her. And, you know, she took accountability for it. Anyway, everyday people, let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to holler at you later. Peace.
Some women can start working in as 1 week.